What we have on here is an 8.5 foot log. It's the pith on this end was 3/4 inch lower than at the other end, so I raised this 3/4 of an inch. So the pith is level throughout the log end to end. I need several posts, 4x4 posts for future projects. These 3 for the boat shed, maybe more. Probably 6 for the carport, maybe 5. No rain today, rain tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. I don't like running the sawmill on Sunday. Not for religious reasons, but because everybody deserves one day of quiet a week. If on a Sunday everybody's running their weed whackers and lawnmowers, okay, I'll run my sawmill. But generally, I like to kind of keep the neighborhood quiet on Sunday. 3/4 inch off the top. I'll go down another 3/4. Sawdust should be coming out in line with the blade. This sawdust on this blade is exiting high about 2 o'clock rather than 3 o'clock and hitting the shield rather than going straight into the wheelhouse, and very little sawdust is going out the chute. So something's wrong with the blade. Here's my new stiff blade scraper, cleaning the blade before it enters the log. The old scraper doesn't really rub the blade hard, but it does keep sawdust from getting between the blade and the belt. You have to pull the pipes off the stops before you tighten the clamp. It takes a lot of fiddling around to get the logs square against the stops. I realized after going to all the fiddling around to get the logs squared to the stops that I'd forgotten the little block under the end. I tried to pry it up with the log clamped, but it's too tight. So I had to release the clamp, put in the block to get the pith level, and then make sure the log was squared and tighten the clamp again. I miscalculated somehow. This is definitely not 3/4 of an inch thick. Okay, now what the engine is off, what I did, I remembered the correct number, but not the correct location. So I went down 1/4 of a turn plus a hole, not a half plus a hole, and ended up with a 3/8 board. Well, now I know how to make 3/8 go on right. 1/4 turn plus a hole. Don't need this anymore. Almost 11. 10. If I go down to 10, pretty much got it, I think. I go down to 10 inches on the scale, telling me there's 10 inches below the blade. What if I got above the blade? And I can make a board out of that. Okay, we have a square edge now. Furry square edge. Again, I confess to woeful ignorance of tree species but I think because of the stringiness, this is probably hemlock. But boards are boards in my book. Putting on the plastic pipe is faster than raising the log stops, turning the cant, and then lowering the stops again. Oh, we got 10 that way. We can get 9 this way. We get 10, but that's going to leave Wayne. Alignment should be 3 and 9/16. 3.5 to 3 and 9/16. It is 3 and 1/2. There's tension in this log. There's a gap there. I noticed that on the first ones that came off the first side. They were humped up in the middle. These want to raise the ends, so down here will be humped. These here will be raised slightly. Anyway, this 3.5, I can get 2 posts, and that leaves, I can get 1 2x4 and 1 1x4 out of what's left. And I need to get another 2 posts out of that, plus it's 3.5, 5.5. So I can get a couple of 2x4s out of that with some leftover 1/2 inch stuff, more or less. Yeah, that pivot's on the middle. It's bowed up just a little bit. Now, you might be asking, why did I cut this one down here first? Oh, because I know if I read my scale, whatever my scale says, that's how many inches above the bunk. That's how I was able to be precise on this by just reading the scale. I put her on 3.5 and a smidgen. And I got 3.5, maybe a smidgen. Now I'm going to have to take this off and put it back on. That was not good planning. Should have come down from the top like a normal human being. Well, it's done now. That's not much bigger. I want this on something. Trying to get fingers under it. You may be thinking right now that those log stops are mighty low and that cant is mighty tall and narrow. You may be thinking that, but I sure wasn't. It's probably a good thing I keep the blade tension on the loose side. I got away with the adverse geometry of the situation until the blade hit a hard knot. I loosened the clamp, raised the log stop, tightened the clamp, and went on my way. putting this upper line on 3.5 plus a smidgen. That's a big smidgen. There we go. That's going to yield me a 3.5 inch post. And above that, I have enough for 2 3/4 inch boards, plus a little. What I need to do is calculate exactly how much. So, the 3.5 inches is on the 2. Right there on the 2 hole, it says 3 and almost 9/16. Good, that's my smidgen. If I come around here to 3, I'll have 3/4 inch above board above that. If I come on around here, around 3, 4, and cut there, I should skim off this and leave me 2 3/4 inch boards. We'll see if it does that. I may be a slow learner, but I am a learner, raising the stops so this cant will stand straight. Clamping low to maximize mechanical advantage. I've calculated carefully, but the way my mind works with math, a good solid measurement beats any amount of calculations. Although I use the blade guard to keep from cutting into stops, it's still nice to remember to put them down first. There isn't enough left for 2 3.5 inch square posts, so I make the square post on the bottom, as I know from reading the scale that I have exactly 3.5 inches plus a smidgen between the bunks and the blade. The remaining cant has a little bit of a curve to it, so I position it so the ends are down and the belly is up, and I'll put my floating bunk under the other end, and if the arch is too severe, I'll walk along it to hold it down ahead of the blade. The center of the cant was only a 1/16 of an inch or so above the bunk. I thought that was close enough. Five quarters and 6/4, aka a 2x4. So what's left is to resaw the 3/4. Gonna get some nice siding boards out of that. 2 more posts, 2 2x4s. Nope, 2 2x4s, 1 by and a 5/4. I sort the boards that I'm going to resaw into similar widths so I can cut several at once without wasting too much wood. What I cut off will either become kindling or stickers. I set the oddballs aside separately. I'll stack them on end in the shed. And that takes care of that log. People drill holes back here, not big enough for the blade to fly out, but big enough to let this sawdust out. Might do that myself. And now the cleanup. It doesn't take long at all, really. Thanks for sticking around to help me clean up, and thanks for watching.